What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about Algorand. And we have to talk about Algorand once again, because Algorand is making some moves that just continues to add more and more value to the blockchain, the ecosystem. And we're going to go through a little bit of history of Algorand, and um, we're going to see what it is that they're doing. I mentioned a little something yesterday in the video that I did. And so today we're going to um, just spend a few minutes, with Algorand, and, we'll just make this video about Algorand only. All right, here it is. Algorand at the moment is almost 27 cents, a little over 6% up in the last 24 hours. The market cap's still sitting a little over $2 billion. There's about almost $80 million in volume in the last 24 hours. So still pretty good. The circulating supply still about the same. It's most of the tokens are out. There's still a 20%, 20% that is still locked. I know that they're going to be doing um, what is it? I forget when it was starting. I think it started like last week, where they were gonna start releasing tokens into the circulation, and so um, yeah, so there's gonna be a little bit of dilution going on. I don't think that it's going to affect the price, honestly. I think that the market itself is going to just chew that up, and if everything continues to go up, well, we'll probably won't even feel it. Because I think it's like 2.5% or something like that. I mean, it's a big amount of tokens, but I don't think we're going to feel it, in the long run. So I think that we're gonna be unlocking. It was starting like last week, and it was gonna go on for like 2 weeks till like the end of this month or something like that. So keep that in mind also when choosing whether you guys are going to invest in a project or not. I mean, I still think that Algorand has a lot of value, and they continue to add value. And that's what I want to show you guys. Whatever I'll show you here is not financial advice. This is just information that should be able to help you guys in your own crypto journey. Now, I do want to give a disclosure. I do own Algorand, and because I do believe that Algorand is a good project. So, nevertheless, all right, here we go. Um, so Algorand, Algorand. I saw this graph about Algorand, and I really liked it because it just kind of gives you like a really nice overview of all the things that Algorand has done and is doing. And so the person that created Algorand was this gentleman up here in the top left, and his name is Silvio McCallie. I'm sure that some of you guys have heard of the name Gary Gensler, which is the guy that's running the SEC for the United States. And Gary Gensler spoke very highly of Silvio McCallie. He spoke very highly about Algorand when he was not in politics. And so now he bashes on everything because, he's trying to please his masters. And so, anyways, so Silvio McCallie, He's the father of modern cryptography and a Nobel laureate in computing. He's notably the co-inventor of zero knowledge proofs, CKPs, and Satoshi Nakamoto used Macaulay's work to create Bitcoin. That is that's a pretty good information to know. That even Satoshi, okay, the guy or the group that or the lady that created Bitcoin, he used Macaulay's work to create Bitcoin. I, I, I just want that to sink in, guys. Because why is that important? Well, look at what Bitcoin is nowadays. And so if Satoshi used Macaulay's work, then what does that tell you? It tells you that this guy really knows his stuff. And he came out with Algorand. All right. So here is some pointers that I think is very important to mention. Algo has a fixed max supply of 10 billion. You guys are going to be like, yeah, like whatever. But did you know that Ethereum does not have a max supply? Did you know that Solana doesn't have a max supply? So technically, they can continue to mint coins indefinitely. So very interesting thought. But Algorand, there's never going to be any more than 20 billion, the same as Bitcoin. There's only going to be 21 million ever created. So that's very good because, you know, a time is going to come when there's going to be no more tokens to be unlocked. And guess what? There's not going to be any more dilution. And therefore, you know, it's practically, up from there. The algo circulating supply at the moment is 8 billion. So practically 80% of it is out there, which is good. I was mentioning that earlier. Let me see. And all algos are going to be distributed by 2030. And it is at 2.8% yearly inflation until 2030. Okay. And again, they're saying algo is rare because it is a true supply. There is going to be a fixed amount. There's not going to be any more created after that. So transaction per seconds over 10,000 it can process. And it's pure proof of stake, instant transaction finality. That means that once the transaction is started, it immediately completes. So very, very, very good. Uh, Block finale in 2.8 seconds, pretty quick. The fees are practically non-existent because it's practically 0.001 algo. So it translates to like very, very, very small fraction of a penny. And they have not had any failed on-chain transactions, which honestly, I've been using the Solana network, and I will tell you, I've been having a very, very hard time trying to exchange any tokens in Radium. It's been really, 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 really bad. And Jupiter, sometimes I try to exchange something there and I end up getting failed messages. So, I mean, this is very good for Algorand and a win. Because sometimes you're trying to get a coin at a certain price and you're trying to beat that, and then all of a sudden, when boom, when you try again, it's already gone up, a few cents, and you're like, oh. now you have to settle for less tokens, and that's never, never fun. No forks, no blocks, no rollbacks, permissionless blockchain, decentralized. It's got more than 1,400 nodes, so it's pretty decently decentralized. Carbon negative since 2022, so good for the environment. Eventually, down the road, it's one of the things that they're going to be looking at. Leader imposed quantum security, native Python for smart contract. They've been mentioning a lot about that Python. I guess it's a new technology that they're using, I guess, but this is more for like developers and stuff like that. And so the developers are super excited about this Python because apparently it makes it like super super easy to build on Algorand. So you know, so that's pretty bullish. State proofs, trustless bridge, largest on-chain governance. Okay, zero downtime since launch. Again, zero downtime. Um, Solana has gone down quite a few times since its inception, and so this is a pretty decent claim to make then, because you don't want a chain that you're trying to you know make trying to buy a coin, or you're trying to trade out of a coin, and then all of a sudden the chain goes down, and then you're like, oh my, I mean, you kind of get stuck, and then the prices go down, they dump, and then when the thing comes up, like, now you're stuck. That's, I don't know, that's something really to consider when choosing which uh blockchains, which projects to use to trade your coins. Um, so, I mean, there's more numbers there. Okay, the TVL, total value locked in DeFi, is $1.1 billion. The NFTs have more than 1,000 dApps. Accounts, wallets, 38 million. So they have a lot. And this is mainly what I wanted to focus on, okay, is this real world asset situation. So a couple of weeks ago, Larry Fink from BlackRock, okay, he came out and practically said that everything is going to get tokenized. All real world assets are going to get tokenized. So this has become a huge narrative now, this real world asset thing. And Algorand, yesterday I was mentioning how Algorand has been doing this, okay, onboarding a lot of companies and continues to do so. Companies that are either partners with, or that they're building on Algorand, or they're using the Algorand uh, ecosystem to transact and stuff like that. And so, as you guys can see here, again, you can see a lot of noticeable names, okay, of a lot of companies that have somewhat of a partnership um, with Algorand. And so you guys can either pause the video, look at these names, or just some of the big names that pop out. You guys can catch them. You have some banks, and you have credit card issuers, and you have, Euro. And here you have, the soccer league, FIFA. There's just in a lot of different things. It's not just like, oh, just banks, or it's just sports, or no, it's like a lot of different sectors are using Algorand. And the reason why I'm telling you guys this is because this narrative is going to um, propel a lot of these tokens that have that real world asset narrative. So keep your eyes on this. And as I was searching on our wonderful Twitter, I was looking here in Algorand. I was like, oh, let me see. And once again, and they had an event here, with devs and stuff like that. Let's see here. So there was a partnership, I think, that is occurring with Algo and T Hub. So they're gonna start up a startup lab. So I think this is more like to help onboard devs, and things like that. So they're just trying to bring in more, new blood and stuff to kind of help the ecosystem continue to grow. And this is what I wanted to mention to you guys is right here. Two Algorand companies are leading the way of real world assets, okay? And real estate tokenization. And I was talking to a friend of mine, I think it was, what was that? I think it was last year or 2022, and we were talking about Algo, and he had mentioned to me about one of the projects that does like tokenize real estate. And so you buy tokens and you kind of own like a certain portion of that real estate. And if the real estate is being rented out, you kind of get a certain percentage of whatever the the money that comes in at the end of the month. But I don't remember quite well. I think you get it kind of like in tokens, I would imagine. So it's almost like staking, where you're putting your money in and the um you're getting, your monthly pay, quote unquote, in tokens. And so I think that's a crazy idea. And these guys were working on this a year or two. I think it was 2 years ago. They were working already on this. So Algorand is pretty seasoned, okay, in real world assets, and they continue to, just improvise on this. And that's why here saying they're leading the way, okay, for real world assets and real estate tokenization. And so those are the two companies off the AI and Vesta Equity BPM. And so, guys, this is going to be a really wild um, cycle. And I think Algorand is going to, like, there's a lot of people that counted them out. I do believe that Algorand is poised to make a really nice comeback. And with that, um, I think it was, what was the highest that Algorand went in 2021 in the last cycle? I think it was like $2.80 or something like that. So I wouldn't be at all surprised if Algorand does, a 2-3x from that point. Honestly, that wouldn't be, like outside of the realm of possibilities, and that would put Algorand somewhere in the $6-7 mark from where it's at now. Now, will they do it? You know, I do have pretty high convictions that it will. But if Algorand doesn't catch any traction, which I think it will anyways, then it might not hit it. But I do believe that it will at least around $4 or $5, at least $4 to $5. That's honestly not that far. And where would that put Algorand in terms of how many X's it will do? Well, if it does a 10x from where it's at right now, we're looking at $2.70. So that would practically already put it at all-time highs, pretty close to it, a 10x from here. So I'm saying that it could potentially do like a 30x from where it's at now. Okay, that would be my most bullish case, would be like about 30x from the current prices of 27 cents. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. As always, as as kind as you guys can be, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. I read your comments and I try to, I do interact with you guys. If there's any tokens that you guys want me to talk about, shoot a message, in the comments, and I will search whatever it is that you guys want me to talk about, and I'll bring it to you guys. All right, guys. Well, once again, thank you for being here, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye bye.